move on into the game against West Ham, a game that they're dubbing as the El Crapico.
Second El Crapico of the season. How many? Then we're going to have an El Crapico final potentially.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're the El Crapico champions so far.
But look, we're going to get into first and foremost the predicted lineup. Ange has been speaking in the press conference. What is the team news going into the game?
So Sonny unavailable, potentially back for Thursday, back on the grass, but not available on Sunday. Solanke is a doubt, might be available, but not confirmed. But he had a little niggle on Thursday. He had to go off early, so he's a doubt for Sunday. Maddison having a scan on his knee, so he'll be unavailable for Sunday. Hopefully it's not too bad. And the big one, Lucas Bergvall, is ruled out for the season with an ankle injury after twisting it in training, unfortunately, innocuously, according to Ange. And obviously Dragoshin out till probably the new year, so he's obviously a long-term injury. But all of a sudden, that injury list starting to mount again after we had such a quiet period. It didn't last too long, did it?
No, so frustrating. And in like the most pivotal moment you can imagine in the season as well, with a European semi-final, second leg, and a potential final as well, which is very frustrating. But anyway, 4-3-3 as per usual. As we say every league game, is this the game for Kinski? Can he finally make an appearance?
Yeah, Ange was saying, he's going to have to make changes, and he's saying it doesn't help. He said, which is quite an interesting hint, he said it doesn't help the team in the Premier League. We're going to have to make 8-9 changes, but basically he said, I got to do what I got to do. So kind of hinting at many, many changes in this game. Is Kinski one of them? Go on, let's put him in.
All right,
go on, Kinski. Kinski's getting a run out. Let's see. Come on, Kinski.
Right. Kinski in goal. Right back. I think Pedro gets left out for this one.
The thing is, we need grey midfield because we don't really have any midfielders. Yeah. So one of Porro or Doggy's going to have to play.
Yeah. A Doggy did play the last Premier League game, didn't he?
Yeah,
it was a Doggy and Spence. Is it going to be Porro and Spence?
It's going to have to be, I guess. Unless he puts Davis and Spence.
Davis at left back.
And then Danso and one of the centre-backs. That's the only other option, unless he does something creative like Sarr at right back or something. But even then, we need him in midfield. So
Reguilon's there.
I just don't see it.
Why not though? And in a game like this, why not?
I understand. I just don't. He just hasn't. And if he hasn't, I don't think he will.
Did at Tamworth, and that game meant more than
Tamworth.
this.
Yeah, he did at Tamworth. You're right. That was a non-league team. I would like. I guess I wouldn't mind it.
If this was me making this team, I would be putting Spence at right back and Reguilon at left back. That's what I would be doing.
I think a Doggy did put a lot into it on Thursday. It looked. Yeah. So I wouldn't want him.
So did Porro though.
Yeah, but Porro's so durable. He hasn't had an injury all season, has he?
Yeah, exactly. That's why we need to keep him fresh.
I just feel like he'll probably. I feel like it'll be Porro and Spence. That's what he's going to go for. I think if Bergvall was maybe fitter or something, and we had more option midfield, maybe we'd put Gray there because we need Gray midfield. I think he's going to have to use one of them. I think he will use one of them, I should say.
All right, let's go for Porro right back. I kind of agree with you. I don't think he's going to use Reguilon. I just think he should.
So Porro, Reguilon. And then we'll put Spence at left back.
Yeah, so Porro right back, Spence left back. Danso definitely plays at centre back. That's a given.
Yeah, I think he goes Danso and Davis again, to be honest.
Yeah, I agree.
I think he clearly rested Van de Ven and Romero on against Liverpool. Didn't want to risk them, and I think given the circumstances with our game, we won't want to risk them again. I think he's going to just. I think he admitted he's going to make 8-9 changes, so I think he's kind of implying he just doesn't really care about these games. So
yeah, so Porro right back, Spence left back, Davis and Danso in the back two. So that's basically 4 changes already in the lineup that we're going for. Moving on to the midfield, are we looking at Archie Gray in the 6 again?
I think we are. Looking at Archie Gray in the 6. So I think he comes in. He said as well, he's talking about Gray, saying it was a difficult day on Sunday, but he said the experience will help him and he's going to get more opportunities. So I think that line implies maybe a start is in line on
And you
Sunday.
know what? He had a very hard day at Anfield last time out. And I'm not saying this is an easy test by any stretch of the imagination, but it is a team that is dramatically off form in West Ham. So I'm expecting Gray to have a bit more joy in this one.
Yeah, agreed.
Moving into the other spots in midfield, I think Pape comes in the 8, that's for sure.
Yeah, didn't get any game time at all, did he,
No,
yesterday?
he
So he definitely plays.
And then alongside Pape,
it's basically Basuma or Deki. That's it. Or Bentancur. I guess if you want to play Bentancur.
I don't think Bentancur plays. I think there is a chance for Basuma. Basuma does play a more advanced role, doesn't he, for Mali in his country?
Yeah, but also, wouldn't it? Maybe it would help Deki get some more rhythm in his game. Just give him a start here, give him an hour, and then take him off if he's waning and stuff.
The problem is with Maddison potentially being out, and by what he's saying, I'm expecting him kind of to be out for that second leg. You kind of just want to wrap Deki in cotton wool, don't you?
You do, but also you want to kind of get him into form.
Yeah.
And on the same side, you want him to get him some minutes so he's getting a bit better. Because at the moment, he just seems to be struggling a bit. And maybe if you play him, maybe he can get more into a rhythm, get more into him, as Andrew would say.
All right, let's go for Deki then. Because I do think it will be Basuma and Bentancur again in the second leg.
I agree.
So a middle three of Gray, Sarr and Deki. I think the number 9 is going to be Richarlison, obviously, because Solanke does have a problem. He won't make the game. So Richarlison goes in the 9.
The only other option would be to Tell there, like he did at the end of the game yesterday.
Yeah, I don't think he will. I think he'll go for Richie.
I agree.
On the wings, now on the right-hand side, is he going to go for Odebear? Is he going to go for Johnson?
Well, seeing as Odebear and Tell didn't start against Bodo, they probably start here.
Well, it depends on what his plan is to start out in Bodo. Is his plan to keep that same forward line for Bodo? I'm not sure it would be.
Obviously, we've got Son potentially back in contention. We don't know if he is, though.
Is his plan going to be to play an Odebear until, if Son doesn't come back against Bodo? Because if his plan is to play Odebear and Tell from the start, then they probably won't start on Sunday. And Johnson will retain his space.
No, I don't think he's going to change the team too much. I don't think. Well, you never know. But I think it will be depending on. I think that team that beat Bodo will probably be. That is his team, unless someone performing can sway his decision. So I don't think he starts Odebear because he's saving on Thursday. I think he'll start Odebear, but he could win his spot for Thursday if he has a great game, like Wortel, something like that. There are spots. I think that team that played yesterday is probably the team he's thinking to start. But I think there are some spots that are definitely open. Like I think the Richarlison on the left, that's definitely open. Johnson's probably open. Maybe even Basuma's spot if Sarr has a great game, maybe that's open. The other ones are pretty much on lock. But I think there are some spots that can be fought for potentially.
For me in this game, I think it's the perfect game for Mikey Moore. Like against a team that open at the minute, they're conceding so many goals. Why not give Mikey Moore a chance in this game? That's what I would do.
I'd like to see Mikey Moore. I just think we're going to give Odebear and Tell the run out. That's what I think is going to happen. I think we're going to give them the minutes as well because they obviously Tell did play 45 to be fair.
Odebear played like 20.
Odebear played like 20, so I definitely think Odebear starts. And also the last time we saw them both start was against Forest. They did quite well, and I think the minutes will do them good. They're then playing. If
Sonny's in line to play on Thursday, then I think it's more of a chance. If one of them's more likely to play, it'll probably be Tell. If Sonny's going to play on Thursday,
well, we have to see. We have to see if he's fit. But I think he's going to play I think Tell and Odebear will play regardless because they didn't play that much yesterday, and they need to basically play their way into the team. I guess that's the theory. If they didn't start yesterday, which they didn't. So
yeah, I'm just not sure. I just got a feeling that Odebear is going to start on Thursday. I've just got that feeling, and I feel like if he's planning to play Odebear on Thursday, I think he'll probably play Johnson on Sunday.
But he's more risking injury if he starts Johnson than Odebear, you'd say, because he's playing him in quick succession.
Yeah, that's true, but I feel like he's trying. I think he'll want to play Odebear.
If there was no game on Sunday, he probably just goes to the same 11, doesn't he?
No, I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No, I think he'll make changes. I think he'll see that we weren't maybe direct enough, clinical enough, and he'll want to put that right. I think.
I don't know. I think he'd think it went well.
It went well to a certain extent, but it's going to cause. He knows that the away leg is going to cause different issues, and we're going to need to be a lot more direct and clinical if we're going to, take away a win from that place. And I don't know. I just feel like Odebear and Tell have the skill set to attack the fullback a lot more than maybe a Richie and a Brennan.
I agree with that, and I thought they were going to start yesterday, but they didn't. And he started in that way, and we ended up with a good performance, a bit more controlled, and it went well. So I just think that team is probably right now the team he envisages playing.
Like, did he make changes from the first leg to Frankfurt to the second leg to Frankfurt?
The only one I remember was Son, but he was injured.
Was that the only one?
That I can remember off the top of my head.
Maybe you're right. I
think he just went with the same team.
Or do you not think he's going to be keep the Bodo manager second guessing a little bit? I mean, he's got players to work with. It's not like just because Richarlison and Brennan played the first leg, they're going to play the second leg.
I'm not saying it's definitely going to be the team, but I'm saying that's going to be the team he's envisaging, unless Odebear and Tell really change his mind on Sunday. That's my thinking. And if one of them has an unbelievable game, and you're thinking, okay, they kind of have to play, then they're playing well, then maybe he'll switch it. But I think right now, if the game was on Sunday, he would pick the same team, I think.
To be fair, he's gone with Johnson in all the big games this season, hasn't he?
Yeah.
So maybe you're right. Odebear on the right wing.
I think it'll be Odebear and Tell again. But I'm saying if those two, if one of them has a really strong game, I think easily one of them could start on Thursday. Or both even.
I think, it's important to give Mikey Moore some significant minutes as well in this game. I feel like, look, we've gone over it so many times, but with what he's shown in the Spurs shirt so far this season, there's no reason why he can't come in these Premier League games and get some minutes.
Yeah, I would like to see him play. He was on the bench yesterday. Unfortunately, didn't get any minutes, which was nice to see him on the bench, though, at least. But, yeah, I think it's a shame that we haven't seen him in a while.
And as well, the fans are kind of, checked out from the Premier League, right? And with Moore coming on and playing, or even coming from the start, it makes the fans a bit more invested in the game.
And I guess there's another player you could say maybe has a shout is Scarlett, because if Solanke has any sort of serious injury and he can't play on Thursday, Richarlison's going to have to play. So maybe Scarlett has a shout to play on Sunday as well, but maybe off the bench.
But anyway, this is the lineup that we are going for. Kinski in goal, Porro right back, Spence left back, a back two of Danso and Davis, Gray, Sarr and Decky in the middle three, Odebear on the right, Tell on the left, and Richarlison up top. So that is our predicted lineup going into the game. Let's move swiftly on into the match preview.
One player we didn't even consider for a second was Timo Werner.
Yeah, I mean,
not even for a second.
Why would we? Why would we?
Yeah.
He hasn't been considered by the manager since he came on in the last few minutes of the Man City game. But apart from that, he hasn't been in a matchday squad since Tamworth.
It's true.
So if the manager's not considering him, then why should we?